Welcome back. It's still VOP this morning on VOP TV. The Ohanaeze Ndigbo Youth Council worldwide has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to address the nation's security challenges decisively. In a statement Sunday, the group's national president Mazi Okwu Nnabuike cautioned President Tinubu against facing what he termed as a Goodluck Jonathan treatment if swift action is not taken. Nnabuike heightened recent abductions across the country as part of a deliberate attempt to undermine public confidence in the government. Nnabuike emphasized the need for President Tinubu to issue clear ultimatums to security heads and take decisive actions if results are not achieved within the expected time frame. He stressed that immediate action is necessary to prevent further embarrassment and potential international repercussions. The group has expressed concern over brazenness of recent abductions and called for urgent intervention to avoid a situation akin to past security crisis. The recent incidents, including the abduction of school children in Kaduna State and demands for exorbitant ransoms, have heightened concerns over national security, as bandits target communities, demanding large sums of money and resources from hostage and for their release. The escalating insecurity underscores the urgent need for proactive measures to safeguard citizens and restore confidence in the government's ability to address security challenges. In Kuriga, Kaduna State, bandits holding 287 school children captive have demanded a 1 billion ransom, threatening to kill the victims within 20 days if payment is not made. Additionally, in the Gonigora area, bandits have also abducted people and also demanded for 40 trillion naira for the release of the 16 abducted residents, with community leader John Yusuf revealing requests for even including 11 Hilux vans and 150 motorcycles as part of the ransom. In the studio we still have Mr. Akin Fatunke, who is a chartered accountant and also a public affairs analyst, to help look into this matter. Now to you, Mr. Akin. This Ohanaeze Ndigbo Youth Council, they are calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to follow, or rather to treat insecurity the way a past administration did. What do you make of this call by Ohanaeze Ndigbo Youth Council?
The message is clear. Any government in power at any point in time's main responsibility is safeguarding of life and property. The coloration of the message becomes a bit political, in my honest opinion, and when you begin to allege you shouldn't have the Jonathan treatment, so we should be talking about having the Buhari treatment also, or the Obasanjo treatment, because I know progressively things have continued to get worse. What I read from the message as a communications consultant is the fact that beyond what Bola Tinubu as a person can do is to begin to lead by example, begin to set the right tones, begin to look at the low-hanging fruits, begin to help build the trust and confidence.
Is there the possibility that he's not doing that and it's looking like he is also treating this with kid gloves as assumed by some quarters? Because this statement practically is saying that. Is there the possibility that he also is not doing anything practicable as concerning insecurity?
It will be most untrue to say he's not doing anything. What if you say he's doing something is not enough? Yes. Can anybody come in with the state of the parlous situation that we found our country and then will be able to do something? Even if he spends 24/7 of his time looking at security alone, things have gone irretrievably bad. My disagreement is, to read too much of politics into this. And I say this decidedly and responsibly. I know the Jonathan treatment that the Ohanaeze
Youth Council.
are saying that, yeah, if it happened to Jonathan, well, it has well happened to you. They are two different individuals, I dare say, and their political sagacity, like it or not, is by way different. What I am reading is exactly, David, what I am saying is that, look, what they are telling you, Ohanaeze and Ndigbo is saying that, look, we need much more decisive action. In making decisive action, we want to begin to see good examples surrounding you. Okay. We want to begin to see good outings surrounding your government, the National Assembly, the states that you govern. We need to begin to now see much more concrete things. It should not be such that you control more states. And that's not to say that the other parties too don't control states. Can we begin to see it in such a way and manner that the subnational governments too are doing something?
Talking about
the guys are talking about, and you know, I keep on, I'm very consistent here. They are talking about Bola Tinubu. They are not talking about the state governors.
Mr. Akin.
And the state governors also have a great, if not greater stake on this matter.
Mr. Akin, what they actually
that is, in my opinion, the politics.
Right.
Everybody is looking at the center. So I don't have a problem. Do the Jonathan treatment, and then you get in there, you find a situation where you don't even have a ground to stand up.
Looking at this, Mr. Akin, they called on the government saying that they wouldn't want the insecurity issue to mar this particular government administration, their effort. They also went ahead to ask the president to, if maybe after giving ultimatum to the security chiefs, the heads, on how they are going to apprehend the people who are causing all those insecurity issues in the country, if they fail to, that issue, or he should also call them to maybe resign or take back the position from them and give to another person. Now, we have to look at it this way. In 2021, there was this insecurity issue that happened in the country, and there was also a video backing that up, and the government actually was not happy over that particular finding, because those people said their reason for doing whatever thing they did was to get at the government. You understand? Now, I'm talking about the kidnappers that went to, Jangabi to kidnap people in Zamfara. Now, when you come back again to this particular one, the way they abducted Kaduna pupils and students and all that. Now, do you actually see this call to still be the way it is? Because they are calling on the government not to allow the insecurity happening in the country to mar his administration.
Calling on the government not to allow insecurity is only. It's it's not parallel. It goes beyond. But going further than that and saying that we can't call the security chiefs, he has not called the security chiefs. What happened to Buhari when we kept on saying, change the security chiefs, say the security chiefs? He didn't change them. Eventually he changed them. Did anything change? I am saying we need to get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that Nigeria has become ungovernable.
Now, we
do not have the same vision.
Sorry to interrupt.
We do not have the same mission.
I have to chime in
at
this
point.
point.
The same values.
The Jonathan treatment being mentioned here. You do recall when the Chibok girls were taken.
Yes.
In droves. It was such that the government was seen not to be doing enough to secure Nigerians, and we had foreign bodies, we had wives of presidents, we had individuals brandishing the Bring Back Our Girls banner, and that in itself watered down the seriousness of the Jonathan administration. And you do know that before that time, certain individuals were said to have mouthed the intention to make the country ungovernable for that administration. And that was done. Now, I think I asked you this, I don't know if it was you, but somebody on this show, if what we are seeing happening around the country is a deliberate attempt to make the country ungovernable for the Tinubu administration. Now, the Jonathan treatment here, again, has been perpetrated by Ohanaeze and Ndigbo. if nothing is seen to be done decisively and on time, this administration will be seen as not being good enough or strong enough to secure Nigeria and Nigerians. This rests at the table of the man at the helm of affairs.
Yes.
How is he able to bring to, be the master strategist that he's purportedly, that he purportedly is, to bring everybody to the table and ensure that there are decisive actions being taken to curb this number of school children being kidnapped? 300, 200, 287. It's beginning to look like somebody somewhere is deliberately trying to make this country ungovernable for this administration. Don't you think so?
Precisely. And that is the crux of the matter. That is the essence of what I'm saying. Are we one? Do we look life within the same prison? During the Jonathan administration, you hinted, somebody said that we are going to make the place ungovernable because we are not in government. Tinubu is there. Others are now saying they are not in government, so they are going to make it ungovernable. I am looking for
one.
Excuse me. We are looking for a situation where I personally looking for a situation where an Igbo man will be the president of Nigeria. Then you begin to see a situation where others will now then say, no, we are going to make that place Nigeria ungovernable. In other words, I am saying we need to sit down and loosen out a little bit. To say that Nigeria is not negotiable is the greatest lie we can continue to lie against ourselves. So, the only way I will agree with the Ohanaeze youths talking, Bola Tinubu need to do something much more concise. We need to break down and decide the future of Nigeria. Those are the crucial aspects. Is Bola Tinubu willing? Is he acceptable to doing that? If the answer is yes, then we can move a travel in the right direction. If the answer is no, and he's going to behave like Obasanjo and say Nigeria is not governable, and then we continue the whole process. If, say, for instance, for lack of good example, an Atiku becomes the president in 2027, is he going to also sit down and say the root cause of the problems we have in Nigeria is that we don't have unity and we don't have trust?
But sorry,
if Peter Obi comes in and does the same thing, unless we go to that route, we'll continue to act
about making the country ungovernable.
Cosmetic.
Is there much difference between the Buhari administration? We had killings and abductions at that time as well.
Yes.
Is there much difference between that administration and what we are seeing now?
No, I think it's even okay. Well,
now within 10 months of this administration,
in 10 months,
I think we've had a whole lot more.
Difficult to say that you want to compare and contrast, but you can see the trend. It's gotten terribly worse. It's gotten terribly worse, not necessarily because those at the helm of affairs are not trying to do their best, but if you continue to do your best and you continue to march on the same spot of backwards, you won't get any results. I am saying to you, and I am making it emphatic, with all the strength that I have within me, in all honesty, that Nigeria is ungovernable. The way it is structured, it's not going to get anywhere. I am not cursing. I am only just telling the truth. I want to live the rest of my life, having lived substantial, years behind. I'm thinking of the future. I'm thinking of you, Fina. I'm thinking of you, Moses. There is no need for me to continue to deceive myself and deceive you. Before we got in here, there was a chieftain of Afenifere, Abraham Adesoya. He made a statement, something similar to what I'm saying here now, that, hey guys, whether in Wanya, whether it's Ango Abdullahi, whether me from South and all that, the way I am seeing the trajectory of Nigeria, things are not going to get better. We better all come together now and do something and say the truth to ourselves. And part of the truth that we needed to say to ourselves is the fact that Nigeria is not a federation. We are running everything but federation. So everybody is now looking for power at the center, believing that when it gets to the center, like Bola Tinubu is allegedly being done now, he begins to help his kinsmen and all that. He's not going to get anywhere. Buhari is going to do the same thing. We need to get back to a position where we say, look, I always use that Dora Kingsley thing. It's courage. We haven't gotten it right. We are not getting it right. We can't continue to preach trust, and it's not getting in there. Plus, the only thing I see, and have been very vehement, on the Bola Tinubu administration, is that I haven't seen the semblance of character and leading by example that will give measure of trust to people who are looking at it. All this buying of cars, going in private jets, taking people out, asking people to cut their coat according to their cloth, and yet your own cloth is looking very big and all that kind of thing. Doesn't help.
All right. Well, let's have your concluding thoughts on this, on these issues discussed so far today.
My concluding thoughts.
If you can lump everything together, it would be nice.
Yeah, we must begin to say the truth to ourselves. Those in government presently must lead by example and be bold. Must, like the pilot in the cockpit, know that this plane is going to crash. You don't want to tell every other person. Those in the cockpit who wants to come and take over must realize that unless we all put our hands together and decide on the future of Nigeria, begin to say it as strongly as we can, that Nigeria as presently structured is not going to get us anywhere. Unless what happened in Rwanda is that to happen. To whom the democracy, we can call it democracy, it has to be a very strong hand, a dictatorship that is pious and will lead by example, will have the right knowledge and the right capacity to be able to take us forward. Unless we do that, I am afraid we might be marching on the same spot, and when you march on the same spot and it becomes mashy, what happens?
You sink.
You sink. May Nigeria not sink. I have hope and aspiration that we have the capacity to be able to do it, but let's put all that forward and Nigeria will be great. Fina, I'm making a prediction here. I hope you are interested in politics.
Yeah,
I'd like to see you as the Senate President of the truly Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes,
Amen to that. Amen to that. Oh, well, we must say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Fatunke, for coming on the program. He's a communications consultant and also an economist. I read up somewhere that he's also an economist. Well.
And like the Glory Land people, a humanist,
a philanthropist as well.
A philanthropist who believe in doing the right things. And I believe in technology too. David is a king in the Bible, and he's a king here also. Thank you very much. Moses.
Thank you very much for coming on the program. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll have business, entertainment, and sports being served. Stick around.